This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
They're taking a place that was a home to a lot of people. It helped a lot of people.
A COVID-era housing response turned into a supportive community. Now it's time to say goodbye. What's next for North Park's tiny town? Also,
at its core, it's a farmer's market meets the peony. It's a celebration of the pickle.
a new festival coming to Victoria, and it's kind of a big deal. The details of this new summer event. And Adam finds out how a Saddest boy is turning couch bouncing into book publishing. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. The head of an organization dedicated to helping unhoused people in Victoria says he recently had his saddest day on the job. He and others are mourning the loss of Tiny Town, which housed dozens of people in refurbished shipping containers. As Anna McMillan shows us, the closure was a long time coming, but this isn't the end of Tiny Town's story.
As shipping containers that formed a community called Tiny Town are dismantled, a former resident is taken aback.
They're taking a place that was a home to a lot of people.
He's one of more than 100 people who moved through the temporary housing facility, which opened next to Royal Athletic Park in 2021.
It helped a lot of people.
The Our Place Society ran Tiny Town, which offered support to residents.
The closure of Tiny Town is without a doubt the saddest thing that's happened to me and to our organisation, I believe, in my 5.5 years as CEO of Our Place.
He says ahead of the closure, 30 people were living here. They all moved to other homes.
It represented the loss of a really successful community housing program, a place where people who had been on the streets for years could find a home, find community, find stability.
The city approved a temporary use permit for the project and renewed it multiple times. Victoria's mayor says the clock ran out because provincial regulations put a maximum time frame on the permits.
It was pretty much end of life under those regulations.
CTV asked BC Housing if an exception could have been made. It didn't answer the question, but shared a list of new shelter and supportive housing spaces. BC Housing is moving the shipping containers to New West, where they'll be used for a similar project.
I would love to have seen it in a different part of the region, and I don't know whether or not BC Housing explored that. That's obviously not within our purview, but certainly there is a lot of need in the Capital Regional District.
For now, the space will go back to being used for parking. The North Park Neighbourhood Association says it could be a great spot for a community centre.
We don't have any place for food hampers or cultural arts programming, so we really want to work with the city on getting some space and understanding what to do to activate the space to do something more than a parking lot.
Our Place says the model has inspired similar projects in Canada.
There are tiny towns in our country now that exist in part because of the Tiny Town in Victoria.
That leaves him with a sense of comfort, knowing Tiny Town is closed, but its impact is lasting. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Large parts of Vancouver Island are under drug poisoning and overdose advisories from Island Health heading into the weekend. The advisory is for the Capital Region, Cowichan Valley, and Nanaimo. Earlier this month, the BC Centre for Disease Control issued a rare province-wide alert about medetomidine, a drug that has been found to be laced with other drugs and makes naloxone less effective. Esquimalt is moving forward with its active transportation network plan and is looking for community feedback as it moves into the next phase of the project. Phase 1 along Esquimalt Road is nearly complete, seeing bike lanes and underground utilities upgraded between Lamson Street and Dominion Road. Phase 2 will continue along Esquimalt Road between Lamson and Canteen Road near CFB Esquimalt. The township says it has the design in mind, but wants the community to weigh in case anything was missed.
We just started an online survey opportunity for folks to provide feedback on the proposed design and to see if there's anything that was missed and if it aligns with their expectations and the goals of the active transportation network plan. And all of that information will be taken to council in a what we heard report for council to ultimately decide what proceeds.
That survey can be found on Esquimalt's website. There will also be an open house held on March 31st at the Esquimalt Recreation Centre. A Saanich senior has a warning for other dual citizens of the United Kingdom and Canada. This week, new travel rules came into effect that don't allow dual citizens to enter the UK on their Canadian passport. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the story.
Mike Stephen has lived in Canada for nearly 60 years.
I was born in the UK in 1941. I came to Canada with my wife in 1967. This is a UK one.
The Saanich senior is a frequent visitor to the UK.
Last year I was there 3 times. I was there in May and September, and then I was there over Christmas and New Year.
When Stephen went to renew his UK passport, he learned the rules have changed.
There was a checkbox to say, did you have another passport? And I said, yeah, I've got a Canadian passport.
Starting this week, the UK will not allow dual citizens to enter the country on their other passport.
To get into Britain as a dual citizen, there had to be a British passport.
A lot of people who maybe in the past had a UK passport have let that expire because once they became a Canadian citizen, they now just travel as a Canadian on their Canadian passport. So we have a group of people who were born in the UK who have an expired passport that now need to renew it. And we also have the group that are now considered dual citizens because their parents were born in the UK that have always been Canadian citizens that under these rules technically now need to apply for a UK passport.
Dual citizens also have the option of applying for an extra travel document that costs hundreds of dollars or renouncing their UK citizenship.
So I thought, what the heck, I might as well renew this. I've had a passport for 60 years.
Stephen learned he had to photocopy every page of his Canadian passport and include it in the application.
It was a complete surprise to me that I had to go through this stuff, and now obviously there are many, many other people who have British citizenships that have to go through this without knowing about it.
The information is out there. The disconnect is, how do people who don't know to look for this information going to find it?
Stephen hopes he gets his UK passport before his next trip in early May, and he hopes by telling his story, he'll alert other dual citizens.
So at least they don't try and get on a plane without these documents and get turned off the plane. At least they understand what has to be done now.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Greater Victoria's 2 major hospitals sit firmly in the middle of the pack on a new list of Canada's best hospitals. The list created by Newsweek shows Royal Jubilee in 20th spot, with Victoria General placing 25th on the list of 73 Canadian hospitals. No other Vancouver Island hospitals made the list, which is now in its 8th year. Newsweek says each hospital was reviewed and scored on 4 data sources, including recommendations from medical experts, hospital quality metrics, existing patient experience data, and data from a third party's patient-reported outcome measures survey. The magazine also released a list of the world's top 250 hospitals. The only BC hospital to place is Vancouver General at 156. Well, Picklefest Canada is partnering with Phillips Brewing this summer to bring its festival to Victoria, and that's sort of a big deal. It's the festival dedicated to all things pickled and fermented while catering to the people who love them. It'll be a full-day celebration featuring vendors, live music, pickled treats, as well as pickled-inspired drinks. It's the 4th year that Picklefest has been around. Originally launched in Toronto, it has now exploded across the country with stops in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, and Charlottetown.
At its core, it's a farmer's market meets the peony. That's what it is. It's a vendors and great food in a carnival atmosphere without the rides. We have a competition called Show Us Your Pickle, and it's a home pickling competition. There's like face painting and DJs and stuff, and it's awesome. We take it seriously, but we really have a good time with it. It's a celebration of the pickle.
The Fermented Festival takes place on August 15th. Tickets can be purchased on the Picklefest website.
That was a beautiful day today. It's 9 degrees at the harbor right now, 10 at the airport. We got to 12 for a daytime high today. Some more double digits in the forecast, more sunshine as well. All those details right after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
And Josh joins us now with a look at weather going into the weekend. Is it going to be an outdoor weekend or an inside weekend, Josh?
You know what? Lots of sunshine over the course of the next couple of days right across the island, and some really mild to warm temperatures for daytime highs. We mentioned earlier in the newscast that we get to 12 for a daytime high today. It's currently 10 in Victoria. I think we're back into that 11 or 12 degree range by Sunday. Tomorrow we'll probably drop to about 9 or 10 for a daytime high. Comox, a little breezier there at 8 degrees, and a little cooler in Port Hardy right now at 6 degrees. Skies will clear out through this evening and overnight tonight. There'll be a couple spots that'll have some morning fog patches. Port Alberni area, you probably see some fog to start the day, but look at, here's tomorrow afternoon. Blue skies right across the island. And there's more sunshine in the forecast for Sunday as well. And if you take a look at temperatures, I mean, here was today. There's tomorrow, so it'd be a little warmer for some inland areas than it was today. Victoria, as we said, a degree or two cooler, but all of a sudden you get into the yellows across the island, double-digit daytime highs on Sunday. In the north, you'd be just shy of 10, but no worse than around average through the weekend and into early next week. Sunshine, 6 degrees tomorrow, 8 on Sunday, although just slightly below 0 in the morning Sunday. 8s and 9s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with the chance of some rain on Tuesday, showers potentially Wednesday. Morning fog patches for inland areas, and then some sunshine by mid-morning and through the afternoon. 10 tomorrow, 12 in sunshine on Sunday, and should still be up in that 12-degree range Monday, turning wetter Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the case along the west coast as well. Steadier rain in the forecast Tuesday, Wednesday. But for the next 3 days, dry and way more sunshine than cloud cover, although there will be some fog to start the day tomorrow. 9 degrees and sunny skies in the afternoon, and about 10 or 11 on Sunday. Mainly sunny skies in Comox for the next 2 days. 8 degrees tomorrow. That's right around average. And then double digits from Sunday through Wednesday. Mainly sunny skies, 10 degrees Sunday, 10 and partly cloudy on Monday. And then there's that chance of showers really for almost the entire island Tuesday. Chance of some scattered showers as well late Wednesday in the Comox-Courtenay area. 9 degrees and mainly sunny in Nanaimo tomorrow. We'll get to about 11 or 12 under sunny skies on Sunday. So nice warm weekend, and it stays warm next week as well. A couple of degrees above average, somewhere in that 9 or 10 degree range, with a 40% chance of showers on Tuesday. So not as likely there as other parts of the island. In Victoria, 4 degrees tomorrow morning, about 9 or 10 with sunshine in the afternoon. There'll be a little bit of lingering cloud cover in the morning, but for the bulk of the day, mainly sunny skies. 11 or 12 on Sunday with some sunshine. 13 on Monday, and still in that 11 to 13 degree range Tuesday, Wednesday, with next chance of showers coming late Tuesday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. I think that's an outside forecast.
I definitely think that's a get outside forecast. Thanks for that, Josh. Well, North Cowichan is raising concerns over housing targets set out by the BC government. At issue, the amount of water the city can supply to the new homes. The district gets a significant amount of water from the closed Crofton pulp mill, which will add pressure to an already stressed system if the taps are shut off. The mayor of North Cowichan recently wrote a letter to the province addressing his concerns over the housing targets for the municipality. North Cowichan currently has 400 development permits, adding up to 10,000 new homes, and the mayor says existing water and sewer infrastructure can't keep up with demand for new housing.
Municipality, it's got 6 different water and sewer systems, which isn't typical of a community of our size, and they've got a capacity limit in each of them. It brings us right up to our maximum capacity under that water license. So instead of 5 years of growth capacity, we're down to like 1.5 years.
North Cowichan has a number of asks for the province, including increasing the maximum capacity for their water licenses, as well as contributing and advocating to the federal government for the infrastructure funding that is needed. The Ministry of Housing and Municipal Affairs tells CTV it's working on the license and is actively lobbying Ottawa to ensure that those federal dollars land in communities like North Cowichan. The Canadian Pediatric Society is out with a new recommendation for cholesterol screening in children. It's recommending kids between 2 and 10 years old have cholesterol screening. The report details how plaque buildup in the arteries, including cholesterol, begins in childhood and is a key driver of heart disease and stroke. The lead author says about 1 in 300 people have high cholesterol caused by a genetic condition, so universal screening could stop kids from slipping through the cracks.
If we can identify children that have a family risk factor, and particularly if they have familial hypercholesterolemia at a young age, we can help to intervene.
Treating the condition in childhood, the study points out, can prevent cardiovascular illness from appearing later in life. NASA announced major changes to its Artemis program today and even added a new mission. The changes come just days after the Artemis 2 blastoff was delayed to address critical issues with the launch system. But the space agency is still shooting for the moon and beyond. CTV's John Venevalley-Rao has more on NASA's new plans for the program.
In a video hyping the coming Artemis 2 mission with Canadian Jeremy Hansen, you can see the 4 astronauts waiting to blast off on a rocket that NASA continues to say is launching soon. A rocket now being repaired inside of a huge hangar after another issue was discovered last week, with NASA still hoping to launch in early April.
What we're doing is anything but easy, and we've seen that with the challenges that we've encountered.
And now the space agency revamping plans for what comes after Hansen and the others loop around the moon. Artemis 3 was supposed to land humans on the surface for the first time in half a century. Instead, it's now scheduled to blast off next year and stay in low Earth orbit for a test flight to try and dock with at least one prototype lunar lander. Artemis 4 will then attempt a touchdown on the moon in 2028, along with a second possible landing.
So it's challenging, it's ambitious, but with this course correction, we are on a more stable foundation, a more realistic path to the milestones we have ahead.
The decision comes amid a new space race, with China continuing to make progress towards its goal of landing people on the moon by 2030.
I think competition is good. I think it's a great way to, motivate our workforce and our partners, again, to achieve the near impossible. This competition worked very well for us in the 1960s.
NASA is also scrapping plans to build a more powerful version of its Artemis rockets, instead focusing on making them more quickly and launching every 10 months or so.
Everybody agrees this is the only way forward.
Still, some are skeptical of the new timeline, with Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin still developing their lunar landers for NASA. And some question whether either of those will be ready for a test flight next year. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Interesting stuff. All right, coming up, leaping off the page, Adam finds out how a boy bouncing with book ideas became a published author. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Trusted voice, focused on Vancouver Island first, sharing stories.
We're here at Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a problem. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at ctvnewsvancouverisland.ca.
Finally, Adam finds out the story behind a Saanich boy's creative leap into writing on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Milo Morris was in the midst of doing something, perhaps wrestling with stuffed animals, when he overheard his mom complaining about a book she was reading.
I thought that I would go write a better book for her.
So, Milo wrote his first book.
About Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
And how did she respond?
She liked it.
And he loved it. So Milo wondered about expanding on an original idea he had called Kid Camp.
A camp for kids. They have candy feasts and go on adventures.
Milo had already drawn all his Kid Camp characters and constructed a card game based on the magical place for his family to play. But now?
I think I said, "Hey, Daddy, let's write a book about kid camp.
And I was like, that sounds great. Let's do it.
So Dave Morris and his son raced up to his office, and Milo laid down his plan.
I was wanting for Daddy to type it out and me to think of the idea.
And the best ideas, it turns out, are born from bouncing.
Got some gold from the cat.
Jumps up and down the couch and acts out a story.
And then he types it out on the computer.
Types out every single word, Dave says, unless they don't make sense.
You can tell it comes from the imagination of a kid. It's just like this wild ride.
The story was so expansive, it turned into a trilogy that Dave self-published after Milo asked if he could give the book to his friends and family as gifts.
Everyone liked it.
But then, after sharing the book at a student talent show, someone posted a positive review online, which led to a stranger requesting the book and posting more praise, which caught the attention of the manager at a national book chain who invited Milo to sell copies at their store.
It feels really good.
So good, Milo's now bouncing around ideas for his 4th Kid Camp book.
You think it, you write it down.
And the best part of all, you cuddle up with the people you love, and you share it. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
Well, he's got a lot of energy there. Well, that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourself.